Hi, everyone. I wanted to come on and talk to you today about something that has been bothering me, and I think it probably bothers a lot of women, but a lot of women don't talk about it. Luckily, I feel like I have a lot of girlfriends that we meet regularly and we discuss a lot about this issue, which is menopause. So I'm 56 years old and I started menopause probably, I'd say about almost 4 years ago now. So for me, everybody has different kinds of issues, but honestly, I think there's some really common ones that people may have and not know they're related to menopause. Um, and let's face it, menopause in most of us, hopefully, will be the longest portion of our lives. So, you know, it could be a very long portion of our life. So, when we talk about menopause, it's not just one little phase, it's basically the rest of our adult life. So, it's super important. And I think that it's something that, uh, a lot of people don't talk about, and a lot of our regular physicians, standard Western medicine, do not understand and just kind of blow us off. So I think it's important we discuss this. Some of the changes I personally had were I started getting really sore joints to the point where I I actually work out a lot. So for me, I started thinking, do I have Lyme disease? My joints started aching, especially at night. It was really odd. The worst was my hips. I actually went and had an MRI. I thought I had arthritis and I was going to need a hip replacement. I couldn't sleep on my side. I'm a side sleeper, and I couldn't sleep on my side because it would just be so painful. I'd have to keep flip-flopping all night. It was terrible. I had to sleep on my stomach. It was so strange. Hot flashes, which many of us face. Um, Kind of a low energy. I've always been a really high energy person. I have a lot of excess energy. And in my 30s, my 40s, obviously 20s, but I felt like Superwoman. I could just go, 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 go. And then suddenly, I don't know, I sort of had this, yeah, I'm not really gonna. I would go out and do yard work, and kind of after about an hour, I'm like, yeah, I'm all set with this. So that was kind of there. Um, Another thing that I felt was almost like a lack of joy. That sounds terrible, but it wasn't like I was depressed. It was a very lackluster feeling, like nothing brought me kind of an intense joy that you would normally have with the highs and lows of your regular hormones. I feel like it was just kind of, yeah, kind of lackluster. Things didn't seem as colorful, maybe more like not black and white, but maybe kind of gray. I don't know. I just sort of felt like for me, it was just kind of a lackluster outlook. Um, my hair, which I always had really super thick hair, started to get a little thin. I'm not sure if it could have been a combination of things. It could have been COVID, which I had at the same time. I heard that caused some hair thinning, but for me, my hair definitely got a little thinner. It used to be so thick. Luckily, I have thick hair. Um, because it's definitely thinner than it used to be. Like I would go like this and it would just be, you know, so much. Um, and of course, the one thing that affects many of us, which doctors like to tell you you're just crazy, is weight gain. They won't tell you you're crazy necessarily, but they'll just say, oh, yeah, that's the time of your life. That's what happens. It happens to a lot of women. I wasn't happy with that answer. I've been a fitness person my entire adult life. And I was working out the same. I watch my diet for the most part. I'm really good. I don't eat processed foods. Very rarely do I eat processed foods. Um, I watch what I eat. I'm not perfect. I'm human. But my midsection was definitely getting thicker. So that bothered me probably just as much as all the rest. The lack of sleep due to hot flashes and the hip pain, like I mentioned before, was also a big problem. I felt like I was chronically sleep deprived. Not great. So I started on this quest and research. That's what I do. That's what I like to do on how am I going to navigate this? How am I going to get through this and change myself? So I started doing some research on YouTube, on reading articles, and found out that I think HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy, would be a great option. So I made an appointment with my OBGYN. Obviously, not the OB part, but she had been my doctor for a while. So I made an appointment with her and I went in to talk about it. And she was immediately like, no, I don't believe in HRT. There's studies. And I pointed out that the study that she was mentioning was an antiquated study. We've all heard of it, that HRT, hormone replacement, causes cancer. This was a study done in the 90s. It was very flawed. That's kind of public knowledge at this point. And I think the average person in the study was 65, hadn't been on HRT. Yeah, there were so many issues, but I'm not going to get into detail about that at this point. So she said, I think you should go on antidepressants. They'll take care of your hot flashes. This was very bothersome to me. So you're going to push a pharmaceutical on me, an antidepressant. And I said to her, but I'm not depressed. Yes, like I said, I felt a little lackluster, but I didn't feel depressed. And she said, well, it doesn't matter. It's just, it's just a low dose. It should be fine. Nope, I was not happy with that. So I left there and I changed doctors. So I went to another gynecologist who I had been to many years ago, kind of local. I went to her and she said the same thing. But we can give you these antidepressants and they have been known to take away hot flashes. And I was like, but I'm not depressed. Same answer. It's fine. So my personal experience with these, I've never been on an antidepressant, but I know many people, even family members who have been, and they're addictive. You can't get off them once you've been on them for a while. If you do get off them, it's with doctor's help, and I'm not recommending anyone gets off them cold turkey. Please don't. Always seek a doctor's help because it's terrifying. I was not willing to do that and be on a medication, a pharmaceutical medication, the rest of my life. I thought to myself, there has to be a way. Went to another doctor, my family physician, who I've had forever, and he recommended that since it hadn't been a year since my last period, that I could go on birth control. So, okay, I thought about this and I thought, okay, temporarily and he said he would do it for a year. I said, okay, well, this will give me time to find a doctor who will help me out. So I did that. And it wasn't ideal. It took me a while. I found on the internet, I found this woman named, she's on YouTube called Menopause Barbie. She's a doctor out of Texas, I believe. I actually scheduled an appointment with her. We had a great meeting and I was more determined than ever. After researching and listening to her videos, um, her name's Barbara Taylor. She was a well-known OBGYN out of Texas. Listening to her videos that hormone replacement therapy for women is truly the way to go. It can reduce your chance of heart attack. It can reduce your chance of osteoporosis, which is so common in older women, bone loss. And it can reduce your chance of Alzheimer's from estrogen loss over time. So this is the way I went. I finally found, and I've been through a couple at this point, but functional medicine doctors who have been wonderful. And we have done bioidentical compounded hormone replacement therapy for me. I was not, they tried the patch. I think I had one of my doctors with the patch, but the patch for me, my skin was too sensitive and caused a major problem like burning, itching. It was terrible. So I did have to go the oral route. And since then, though, I feel like so much better. Do I feel perfect? No, I'm 56 years old, but my hot flashes are completely gone. My hip pain is completely gone. My joint pain is completely gone. Um, my energy is definitely better. I think my attitude is a little better. Is my weight gain better? I don't think so. It's pretty steady. But I don't, honestly, I'm not really sure. I think there's more problems, and in another video I'll go through what could be stemming, contributing to that issue. And when I'm talking weight gain, I'm talking about 10 pounds. So it's not drastic, but to me it is, because I pay attention to that stuff. I just want other women out there to realize that if you are struggling in menopause and maybe you're depressed, I know many women do get depressed. If you're just feeling not yourself, if you're feeling like you might be going crazy, I know some women feel like they're going crazy, they have brain fog, then love yourself enough to research this and realize you're not going crazy. There are ways to work on this and to work around it. And talk to your girlfriends. Seek a functional medicine doctor's help. If you go to your normal physician, I'm going to tell you it's going to be a struggle getting any answers. So I highly recommend looking into hormone replacement therapy. Thanks so much.